How do you turn a marketing qualified lead into a sales qualified lead? Well, my name's Brennan Northwick. I'm going to take you through that in the next few minutes by sharing with you the process in which every single one of us humans are making decisions today. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to look at just the green diamonds really quick as I bring this up into presentation mode, and we're going to go through this piece by piece real quick so that you can see how to improve your marketing and how to get people to do business with you. Because if you're only focusing on those people that want to do business with you today, that's a great plan, but it's going to cost you a little bit. There's going to be what we call a hidden premium attached to that objective. So when you think about how are you going to grow your business predictably, but also cost effectively, you've got to have a system in place that's going to help attract those people that are going to do business with you today, tomorrow, and next year. Because the goal here is to get as many people to your offer as possible who are qualified and are allowing you to reconnect with them on a later basis. So how do you do this? What are you in control of? Are you in control of your Facebook traffic? No, you're not, because if Facebook shuts down, you lose those people. Are you in control of your Facebook video views or your Instagram lives or your followers? You're not. Because if that platform goes down, you are out of luck. So the goal here is to make sure that you have connections, communication lines that are gonna be disrupted. They're never gonna end up being impacted from somebody else not doing their job. So what line of communication am I talking about? That leaves us with one. Those are emails. We've got to make sure that we are still collecting emails. That's still a very, very big indicator of that first step of interaction online. So what we have to do is create this system that's going to build people's trust and then get them to want to know, like, and do business with us. It's a standard way. But so many of us as business owners, we want to skip steps. Notice that there are 5 stages. It's not one stage that you get to jump into. There are 5 stages. Each stage has a purpose. Each stage is going to walk that person's conscious and subconscious through a buying decision to where they're not going to feel remorse at the end. And isn't that the goal, to make sure that you don't have a lot of buybacks, that you don't have a lot of people who are coming back to you saying, I'm really not sure if I want to go forward with this anymore? That's the opposite of what we want to do. So when you have an understanding of stage 1 to stage 5, meaning that 1 being the furthest out from doing business with you, but they are the lowest cost to acquire, to stage 5 being the ones that are going to do business with you today, though those are going to be the ones that cost the most. If you ever watch any show on Shark Tank or any business book that you've read, you've got to understand that everything that you do in business has a cost attached to it. Not everything that costs has a return, but everything in business has a cost attached to it. So you've got to make sure that you understand, what am I willing to invest so that I can get this return? And a lot of the businesses that I work with, they're not working with $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 per month ad budgets. They're typically working with about $3,000 or less. And what that makes me special at is understanding how to read micro data and understand micro budgets. And through this process of working with these smaller businesses who are now scaling upwards to $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 per month, it's because of the system we have in place and the know-how of what people are doing to make buying decisions. So if you have your content, your offers, and your strategy laid out the way that I have it here on the screen, you are going to be in a perfect position to generate predictable and scalable results. So let's go real quick into each stage. What does each stage have inside of it that the others don't? Well, the type of content you're going to be building out for stage 1 audiences are going to be your lead magnets. These are going to be your short, actionable, goal-oriented, and easy to consume pieces of content. We call that SAGE. That's a SAGE acronym. If you want to write that down, SAGE, short, actionable, goal-oriented, easy to consume. You get those things lined up. Test a whole bunch of these so that you can have a very solid data pool of what works and what doesn't, and what type of client is coming towards you, what type of customers being brought towards you with the type of lead magnets that you're using. Then we get to stage 2, which is going to be more of the more advanced, in-depth demonstrations. If you've got a product, this is where you demo your product. If you've got a service, this is where you're going to actually demonstrate that you can do what you say you're going to do. So the fact of the matter is that if people are in stage 1, they don't care about the advanced stuff. They don't care about the 30-minute training, the hour-long in-depth conversation, the learning more aspect. They don't even realize that they have a problem at that point. So our job is to make them aware of that real quick and get out of their way so that we could follow up with them and take them down the process. Then we get into stage 2, which is going to be the more advanced content. And stage 3, which is going to be now where they actually, if they're in their mindset in stage 3, they're going to be looking for, hey, can I trust this person? So what do you have right now on the internet that will make you look trustworthy? Are you in control of the narrative? Are you pumping out content? Are you, purchasing press releases? Are you being able to really dictate and narrate what people see and how they view your brand? And with that, you're going to move them into stage 4, which is where now in the advertising campaigns and in the marketing message, you can now announce everything that you have to offer. So if you have multiple product lines, tiers, you have different services available, you've got everything inside your business that you want to let the world know. Well, this is the point in which you can do that, because these folks in this stage are looking for options. They're already aware they have a problem. They're already aware where the solution resides, and they're actively searching for the solutions right now. This is where they're offer hunting, right? This is where they're saying, hey, well, what company's offering what services that are going to match with my needs? Okay, let me do my research. Then we get to stage 5, which is where now we are able to get directly to business. Unfortunately, this is where most people want to skip. Most business owners want to skip straight to stage 5. Only 1 to 3% of your market is going to ever be in stage 5 at one time. So what does that mean? It means it's unscalable. So you can't focus on stage 5. You have to focus on optimizing it, yeah. But all that information is going to come from the previous stages. Do you understand? So we're going to gather and collect data from stage 1 to stage 4 and really optimize everything in stage 5 with the opportunity to scale each stage. Because each stage is going to bring us a cost per acquisition. They're going to bring us a customer or a client. Each stage individually is going to bring us customers. Combined, it's a unstoppable system that's going to prepare you for the future while creating predictable results today. So when you think about how you want to set all this up, we're taking them from a marketing qualified lead, remember, to a sales qualified lead. This is marketing qualified here. Once we get them through this point where they're saying, you know what, I want to give you my name. I want to give you my number. I want to, fill out a form on the product purchase page, and maybe I don't complete the form. So I've got my name, my email, my information on a product page, and I just didn't go through with it, right? But I'm qualified now. I'm like so close to making that purchase. Or if you're selling services, they're actually giving you the name, the phone number, and saying, hey, look, give me a call. Once that happens, they are going from a marketing qualified lead to a sales qualified lead. You know their behavior. You know what they've done. You know that they're ready to make a decision. They just may need a little bit more coaxing, a little more information. They may need just a little nudge. And so that's what we want to prepare them for with this system. And so when they get to a point where they're now seeing this online, this is where you get to have some fun. You're going to be able to break down and say, okay, look, how do I make this happen in real life? Okay, well, each stage is going to have a separate place for it inside your marketing campaign. So your marketing system, right? So my whole sales and marketing systems, they're combined through bringing cold traffic into people that want to do business with you today, but also preparing your business for predictable results tomorrow. And with each stage having its own set of content aligned to it, you know exactly what goes where. So you could say, okay, well, I know that my stage 1 and my stage 2 audience, they're going to get my lead magnets up front, whether it be a webinar, an advanced training, or some type of lead magnet that's short, actionable, goal-oriented, and easy to consume. So stage 1 and stage 2 are going to be here. Stage 3 and stage 4, once they get an opt-in, they're automatically put into stage 3 and 4 because now they have the solution. They know their problem. They now have the solution. Now they get to stage 3 and stage 4. Now we can start introducing them to your social proof, start introducing them to other things that you offer. And through that, we know that only a few people, right, 1 to 8%, depending on how good you are, your copy, and how good your offer is positioned, we know that 1 to 8% of the people that are coming through are going to buy automatically. Well, what happens to the other 92%? We have to follow up with them. What do we follow up with them with? Well, we follow the same content strategy that we were just going through, knowing that if they're in stage 3 and stage 4 now, the only thing they really care about is, can I trust you? Can I really trust you? And what offers do you have? So we get into the same thing. We say, okay, well, look, here's the philosophy, here's the methodology, and here are some tactics for you. And From there, we're going to measure that behavior, taking them to a secondary offer, and then we're going to go ahead and put them into the final phase, which is the direct response phase, where you're going to actually close the deal. And this is where we're going to have all different types of emotional ads, logical ads, fear of missing out, all your options again. We're going to go ahead and go through some greed angles. There's all these different angles that we're going to appeal to now that we can actually pitch your product or service. It's literally just immediate now saying, hey, look, here's the direct offer, here's the direct offer, here's the direct offer. But if you jump straight to stage 5, notice you're missing out on all this. Everything here is you're done, right? There are no pre-selling, there's no pre-framing, there's no educational piece. And that is going to hurt your sales. That's not going to make it easy for your marketing to convert, right? People say, well, my marketing doesn't bring me an ROI. Well, most of the time, it's not even really the marketing, it's the sales process. It's after these people get aware of your brand, what are you doing? Are you relying on the very first time for someone to ever hear of you to just pull out their wallet and do business with you? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, when was the last time you just gave money to a stranger? Very rare, right? Very rare do you do that. They have to have a lot of clout. You have to be referred to them from a friend, right? There have to be certain factors in place. So when you're talking about bringing cold traffic in from a digital platform and then pushing them through a conversational, right, a value-based conversational sales system, you're going to see more people convert because we have an expectation to follow up. We don't have an expectation to convert on the very first time. We have an expectation to say, okay, there's a life cycle through this customer line, and it's not us making this up. This data goes back to the time when humans were created. So since the very beginning of time, this is how people have been making buying decisions. The only thing that I did was created a system that really digitalized every single aspect. It systematically created the exact conversation you would have with somebody over the span of their buying cycle so that they got the information that they wanted when they thought it was the best for them to hear it. And if you have that lined up correctly, then you're going to be in a good spot to get them to now position themselves to go into a sales qualified lead. So this is specifically for if you're selling services right now. I have other examples for products, but I'll go into that later. So now here, if we're looking at service-based, what we want to do is the whole goal is to get them from the marketing CRM into your sales CRM. We want to get them from not knowing who you are to opting in, registering for a call, and then they get into your sales CRM. Now for me, I use Pipedrive for my sales CRM. Makes it very easy for me and my sales team to hop in every day, check out to see who is on the list of contact, and then follow up accordingly because they're all going to be placed into a specific stage. Did they register? Did they apply? Did they schedule? Are they qualified and awaiting the meeting? And did we get a negotiation started? And so each of these stages are going to be put in by the person who's coming from the marketing CRM. So if they are to fill out a form to say, hey, look, I'd like a call, boom, right into registered. Then we could follow that behavior. Did they apply? Let's move them to applied stage, and then so on and so forth. Now, what happens if they did not make that next step? If they only registered, but then let's say that they stopped in that process, whether it be for Wi-Fi cutoff, whether it be because they just didn't want to fill out the questions right then and there, whatever the reasoning is, we know that we have to follow up with them. So with our sales system, we have templated emails that are custom to your outcome that are easy to just 2 buttons, click on the profile, click on send or the template name, and then click on send. So 3 buttons you got to click and you've got your email sent. Then you make your calls, you send your text messages, and you follow up accordingly, but you know exactly who is in what stage, you know exactly the notes on that client, you know exactly where they came from and why they're there. So very simple process, and then you just push them through the sales process. And then, did you lose the deal or did you win the deal? And so all this is actually done through about 10 to 12 days, 10 to 14 days with me and my team. If you'd like to have everything set up from the traffic flow to the close, and then have everything monitored, maintained, and then scaled for you, I'd love for you to find the link around this video so that you could schedule your call with me personally. We'll go through your exact system that you currently have, and if you don't have one, it's okay. And then we'll go ahead and go through exactly how this would be implemented into your business using exact objectives and examples that you would need to hear so that you could see how it would work for you. If that sounds like something of interest to you, go ahead and find the link or the button around this video, register for the call with me personally, and I look forward to seeing you there. Hope you found some value in today's video, and I'll see you on the call. Take care.